Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Richard, and this is van life. Slight apologies because we were intending to go to the historic transport show at Detling near Maidstone last Saturday, and I was really looking forward to that. And I did this sort of intro video telling everyone about it, and but unfortunately, I had an email from the show organisers to say that due to the weather, it had been raining quite a bit, they were going to cancel or should I say, no, the official term was defer. That's right, it's not cancel, defer the show until later on in the year when the weather was better. Now I can understand that because Detling, anyone who knows the Detling showground, it is basically it's an ex-airfield, and though it's been turned into the county showground as it's called, and therefore the grass gets very wet, and you can imagine it wasn't just good old sunshine that was going to be there. It was going to be large buses, Route Master type buses and others vehicles there who are much heavier than the 2 tons that this vehicle weighs, and I expect they will get bogged down. And also, though I was looking forward to it, I had a vision that we'd be spending most of our time sitting inside sunshine rather than actually walking around doing video about the displays and the other vehicles there. So I'm hopeful, and I've got some more shows coming up anyway, hopeful that we rescheduled and I'll be taking you along for that. But today, as I've been doing quite a bit anyway in the bus since the last video, which was only a few weeks ago now, wasn't it? I thought perhaps I would update you as to where we are. So you join me inside sunshine on a beautiful afternoon in April, and it's 25 degrees sitting in here. I've got the louvered windows open and letting and I've got the big open door there open, allowing the airflow, and it's a night. And and today's been quite a special day. It's Good Friday, so it's bank holiday here in the UK. And also I've had Craig, who's been absolutely amazing. I'm actually going to put his cards on CMCS Mechanics Maidstone, and he actually is an amazing guy. He's worked on Porsches and VW and air-cooled before, so he's really, I've just struck oil with him, excuse me when I blow my nose. He's works on all my cars. In fact, it was through James, my son, that I discovered him, and he's really done a very good job. And I'll update you about what we've been doing on Sunshine. But he's a real resource. So if you're in the Maidstone area, the Kent area, I'm sure that he would love to help you, as long as you don't take too much of the time away, because obviously I like using him as well. So yeah. So the first thing to say is that we've when he came out last time, we were going to change, or he was going to change the brake shoes and on the front. Now this vehicle has a split system. It has brake shoes on the back, so traditional, and then it has disc brakes on the front, which are large discs, and I'll put a picture of what the calipers look like. So we had to change the calipers, so I'm going to just show you. This is I don't know if you can see this, I'll put a picture of the caliper there. These are the old ones, and what's happened is these had seized. There are two sides, so you have a brake shoe, which is like shoe on the leather of your sole of your shoe, on either side, operating either side of the disc. It's like a large disc, and I'll put a picture of that up so you can see that. And so what happens is one side was sticking, so it wasn't working, and so therefore that diminishes your braking. It's not dangerous because this vehicle had clearly been through an MOT and they hadn't picked that up. And so what happens is, normally speaking, that you'll end up with the front brakes will go on first, and then the rear brakes as you push the brake more firmly, and that's traditional with any car anyway. So you normally find that your front brakes will wear more than your rears, particularly with power assisted steering and front wheel drive. Clearly this is a rear wheel drive vehicle, and there's no power assisted steering, there's no assisted brakes either, so it's just normal braking system from the pressure that I put on with my foot. So Craig has come out this morning, and we have changed over the calipers, and they're big things. I'll put some picture of that for you so you can see what it looks like. Big aluminium things. So these are the old ones, which you can have refurbished and then hang on to those. because they're quite expensive items, as you can imagine. They're big pieces of aluminium casting, and they have the brake shoes have separate. So it's been quite an expenditure just doing that, but it's safety and it keeps sunshine on the road, which is great. So that's the first thing that's happened. So that's really been good. So Craig also did a full service. So we've had an oil change and we've had checking over and timing the rest of it. And she is, so to date, Sunshine is really humming along. And I took her out this morning just to check after he'd done the braking. So that's great. So that ticked that box now. The second part was always in the inside. We know you've had the fabrics done. I'm sitting on the nice new seats and I've got a nice new pillow there. So this fabric here, which I have to thank the University of Creative Arts, one of James's colleagues who did that for us, and she's now going to be doing the curtains. So the curtains that are originally on the bus are these blue ones, which are quite stained, as you can imagine. These were, I think, these commercially produced because they seem to me that way. So, but I have managed to source from my wonderful work in the Heart of Kent Hospice charity shop. I've managed to source some really nice curtain material, which is this one. I think I might have shown you this before. So this is the curtain, and it's covered in these lovely classic cars. Okay, so that's going to be all round the inside, but there isn't enough material to do the whole bus. So for the rear door, that's the one that's directly behind me, the rear gate, tailgate, we're going to use this material, which is quite nice. That's stripe. Here we are. And then for the front, looking forward of the bus, and I'll see if I can just, without this camera has been a bit funny today. So there we are, forward of the bus. What we're going to do is I'm going to use this material. Just stay with me a second while I slot my tea all over the plans. This material is like a dark blue, which I think will go. And so I've got a plan here as well. So this is my schematic, and I'll put a picture of that on for you so you can see that. So the front end, we've got 84, this is in inches by the way, British Imperial inches, 84 inches wide, so that's halfway round, with a 24-inch drop, that's drop-wise. And what I've done is I've made these measurements slightly larger than the original ones, so that because the bus tends to, as you can imagine, it's like a bread loaf, so it tends to go round at the edges. So rather than, because these are little hooks things up here, you might be able to see, this is like a curtain rail, it's very tiny hooks, which you can still get all of this stuff. So, and this, so they, because of the way the bus shape is, they need to come down a bit further, so that when you're at night sleeping in here on this bed, the rock and roll bed, you don't get all the light coming through. That's the plan anyway. So there we go, there we are. So yeah, so that's quite been interesting. So I've done a lot of measuring, hoping I've got it right, and also another stage in the development of Sunshine, the Volkswagen camper van air-cooled. So on that basis, but I thought perhaps this afternoon I'd just update everybody as to where we are, and also explain why we didn't go to the historic transport show. Let's have a cup of tea here. Other than that, it's a lovely spring day. So I've got to do I did the polishing on the outside. I polished it with the G3, which is like a high professional polish, and it's really done well. I've cleaned everything. Just got to clean the hubcaps and the top, so I've got that to do. Everything's going well otherwise. So if you're still interested, also I've discovered one of my YouTubers that I watch called Simpsons Classics. He's actually purchased a camper van bus, and he's always wanted an air-cooled, which I thought was interesting because he started on his journey. He's a chap who does a lot of work on minis and other vehicles. So if you're interested, I'll put a link to his channel because it's quite interesting following him along. He's got a bigger engine than this one's got, and though he had some problems with the rocker with the rockers on the side of the engine, because this is, as you know, this is a air cooled, and it's a flat 4, which means that the pistons go this way as opposed to that way. So the rocker covers are on the side, but he's managed to fix that. And one of the brakes was actually sticking, and when he took the rear brakes, or one of the brakes off, they literally, the shoes just fell off. And Craig tells me today that in fact that I always assumed they were studded on, but in fact they're just stuck on. So once they start rubbing, and once they start getting too hot, they will just come off. They'll come off the inner lining. The outer lining comes off the inner lining. So, which doesn't help matters really, does it? So there we go. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying the videos. I hope you enjoy all my other stuff I put on there and follow along. I get lots of nice comments. So, you know, Neil has been commenting, one of my best commenters on my channel. Thank you, Neil. Nice to give you a bit of a shout out too. I look forward to some of the things about your cars, you know, hopefully, because you purchased my old GoPro. This is the GoPro 9, so that's doing all right. And yeah, and thanks for all the nice comments about the last one when we did the 2 shots when I went to the gym. So that was really nice of you. Yeah, lots more to come. So, and lots more other stuff as well. I've got some records, 78s that I recently picked up in a few charity shops. I just haven't had time to get around to all this because of with work and also family commitments, which are taking a bit of a time at the moment. So, but hope to see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Do comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Press the little like button, and look forward to seeing you all very soon on the next one. Take care, guys.